Hey there, Mr. Smith Garage here in the garage again. I know there's some a fan going on. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. So I know I've been talking about trying to get the climate in here a little different, so I could work on Lars again. It's just been so hot to have that garage door open in the afternoon sun, and so Lars sits, but I did work on a seal, so I don't know if you can see that right there, but basically I got a seal going around the doors. Got one over here too, so you can see, and then up at the top. So I've sealed the doors up. Made a quick purchase at the Costco. Got myself a Hisense air conditioner. Blows super heated air out of this to the outside. I'm trying to suck the air from the cooler down here. Got a fan going. Did a little cleanup on some of the garage stuff to give me a little bit more room back here. But what I really wanted to talk to you about today was so one of the videos, the overlanding up at Burley Mountain Lookout. You can check that out on my channel. Really nice video. Kind of just shows Synchro Diesel Jim and I going through some overlanding backwoods, going up a really steep hill in Jill, and he's got the Synchro Diesel. But one of the things I think I mentioned in one of my things is that in one of my videos is that I did clean the outside of the Vanagon. So Jill's exterior, we did a quick power spray, everything, got most of that dirt off from all the dust that you saw in our video. One of the things that I did not do was I did not clean the engine bay, and so I'm going to give you a quick picture of what it looks like. It is just covered in dirt. So that is a California emissions fuel injected Hall sensor distributor 67 horsepower air cooled motor, and it is extremely dirty. Well, today I was driving out to meet Jim, give him a part from my parts closet for one of his Synchros, and it stuttered. And I'm like, huh, it's never done that before. Jill drives, she's a daily driver. I drive it all the time, and so it kind of stuttered once at 55 miles an hour. And the only thing I could think of was either hall sensor or fuel delivery, something. I couldn't tell. So when I got into town, I went over to one of our local Volkswagen shops, Wolfgang International. Talked to Steve Phillips, and he doesn't always have parts for my Vanagon, but I always try to go and support local. And Steve's a really nice guy, very knowledgeable. He does a lot of racing and stuff, so if you don't see his racing, he's got some crazy dragsters out there, and but just is always willing to help out people in the community. And so I just happened to ask him if he had a air filter for the Vanagon, and sure enough he did. And so we got an air filter, put it in. Let me see what this old air filter looks like. I'm just gonna toss it, and Steve recommended that I just blow it out and keep it in the box for a spare. Pretty dirty in there, so we're gonna blow it out with the air. So I did change it, ran fine on the way home, but thought, I need to do some cleaning, and so I'm gonna use the vacuum first, and then I am looking to see where, I guess this is probably just moisture and it's just caked the dust on there. I thought maybe there was leaks or something, but no leaks. Just gonna kind of suck out as much dust as I can, and then maybe use the air compressor and do a little bit of shots of air to clean it all out. So anyway, we're gonna do some cleaning. Pretty crazy, but did want to say that we do support our local shops, Steve being one of them. The other local shop that I have here, which is just always awesome because he has quite a few parts, especially when it comes to suspension, is Burley Motorsports. Shout out to Burley over there at Burley Motorsports. It is a little cooler in the garage. Like, I think when I drove in here it was 84 degrees. It's 86 degrees now because I brought this hot engine into the garage, but definitely workable. I can do this. So Thanks for watching Mr. Smith Garage. We'll get this cleaned up and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, this is super powdery dust, so which is why I think it's good. I'm gonna vacuum it out first. I'll show you some of this. Man, this is super dusty. Look at that, just sucking some dust off of there. Already is looking better. All right, did I mention my new favorite shirt? We were just there. If you can tell where that's at Yellowstone. There's a geyser, which I did a short. If you want to go look at, did a video on that. And look at that, Volkswagen. And then if you can see on the back, it's officially licensed. So Yellowstone went through the whole process of licensing it with a Volkswagen camper right there at Old Faithful, the geyser. So here's kind of what it looks like after the vacuum job. Didn't do any wiping on it or anything. I was thinking about just turning it around and actually having the back end out of the garage and spraying it off, because pretty sure it's hot. It's still hot right now from me driving, and I think it'll evaporate off just fine. I got a couple of, got an air compressor I can blow it off with too afterwards, but I think wetting down some of this stuff and getting it out of here would be ideal. So that's what we're going to do next. Couple of things. It is hot outside. I had it down to 85 degrees in here, and now it's like 90. So come over to this AC and cool down my face, because it's for sure blowing out of this thing at 45 degrees or so. It is hot. Hey, did I mention we had a fire in the neighborhood the other day? I was out watering the garden, just, you know, watering the garden at 6 a.m. or 5:45 a.m., whatever it was, you know, because it's hot out. And all of a sudden I started smelling smoke, and I thought, well, maybe it was my next door neighbor, like burning something in his garage or something. You never know these days, right? And then I started to see like smoke, and so it was probably about 10 to 6. I walked out to the front yard, and I see smoke barreling out of a house down the street, and so kind of hurried myself down there, and I could see that people were moving, you know, cars out of the driveway and moving stuff around. And when I got down there, there was several neighbors just standing on the street too. I don't think it was any of my subscribers, but come on, standing on the street, and somebody's house is like maybe, and I don't know the neighbors very well, but I know, you know, they're car lovers. They, like, the kids are all into cars, and they've got a lot of cars in the garage. Kind of like Mr. Smith's garage. Anyway, so I ran up. I'm like, how do you want me to help you? You know, and the kid was trying to pull the burning car out of the garage. And so I'm like, well, let's pull it out of the garage, because, you know, it could save your house. It's a good idea. So started pulling it out, and it was burning in the front. We were pulling it from the back, and I noticed there was a jack stand, kind of like one of these big ones, and it was out like this, stuck in some boxes and stuff, and holding the car up in a sense. And so I'm like, hey, you got to move that jack or we're not gonna be able to pull it out, because it's gonna be stuck there. And so he went in, threw the jack up, and then we just pulled it out of the garage. And about, you know, a few minutes later, they were dousing it with water. I think it was probably some kind of either battery or oil fire or something. It wasn't going out. And a few minutes later, the fire department showed up and kind of made short order of it and cut the kid's car up in the front, because they were trying to cut it, look for fire inside the fenders. And it's kind of sad. It was a nice little Subaru anyway. But it made me think. I have fire extinguishers in the Sea-Doos, and I thought I had fire extinguisher for the house, but I don't know. I couldn't find it anywhere. And so I just thought I need some fire extinguishers in my garage, because obviously, you know, the things that I do could easily, there could be a fire to start. And so I put one right here, the back door, that's easily accessible for the kitchen, because our kitchen's just right in there, right past the, oh, you want to go in, Zero? You want to go in? Yeah, a little cooler in there, just right past the laundry room. And then I also put one here at the end of my garage, which is kind of on it as an exit thing if I need to take it and run to another neighbor's house or something like that. So anyway, if you don't have fire extinguishers in your garage and you do work with gas, electric, diesel, you know, all those different things, you should probably get a fire extinguisher. And I did talk to one of the firemen, and he's like, you know, an ABC fire extinguisher is the best. He said you can also get a water thing if it's not an electrical fire or an oil fire. You know, water dowser works, but I just ended up getting ABC fire extinguishers, and so that's what that is. And I think this one is just this one might just be a B and C. Let's see, what does it say on there? Yeah, this is just a B and C, so not an A. But good for garage fires. So anyway, if you don't have a fire extinguisher in your garage, and nobody got those for me, I bought them myself, but if you don't have a fire extinguisher in your garage, you might want to get one. Hey, I do want to thank my subscribers, because I know I had quite a few people subscribe in the last couple of weeks, and I really appreciate it. If I hadn't told you this, or if you haven't seen any of my videos that told you this, you know, a lot of the stuff that I work on is just my own cars, and it's, you know, the Lars, the Eurovan, I did a lot of videos on him because I wanted to make sure I could put it back together. And so hopefully that'll help you out if you're a Eurovan person working on a VR6, 24 valve VR6. I have yet to put it back together because it is stinking hot where all that work needs to be done. Like, I'd be sitting in the evenings with the sun at my back, 107, 110 degrees. So that's why I brought this in here, trying to cool the garage down so that maybe at some point I can spin Lars over sideways and start working on him, or if it starts to cool down, then we'll do that. So anyway, this is kind of what it looks like now. I'm gonna do some wiping down a little bit just to see if I can get any cleaner, some of this crusty dirt, and looking much better. I did replace the air filter, which, you know, basically just sucks air from right in here. And you know, really the point of this is, you know, there's that air intake right there, and it comes from here as it comes in. So if you're driving down the road and the dust is sucking in through here, it's creating suction, and you know, it's just going in. So, and what I thought maybe was a vacuum leak that I was feeling was this seal is down there, so the fan's blowing air through there and coming out into the engine compartment. I need to probably fix that seal, so because with an air-cooled motor, you want it as sealed as possible so that you won't have air coming out here, but actually going over the cylinders. So anyway, we're going to work on this a little bit. And all right, so here is the finished product. Wiped down, cleaned up, you know, no product on it or anything, just kind of cleaned up and wiped off with rags. One thing I will tell you is always, and I just checked the oil too, but always check down in here because I just found my 8mm wrench that I was using. It was down there. So always kind of double check that. And if you mess with any kind of adjustments, always make sure you get it retightened, and then don't leave your wrench where it's going to fall somewhere. Yeah, looking good. Clean again. We'll put the top back on. Thanks for watching Mr. Smith Garage. I did check the oil, it was a little bit low. So remember, these air-cooled engines, they're technically oil-cooled engines. So you know, always make sure you're checking your oil pretty regularly. Keep it clean. I did pull this little boot up. I probably need to get a new boots for this one, because these are new plug wires from about maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and with the new boots, but that boot isn't a really good seal. We do appreciate our viewership. If you haven't subscribed and you want some, you know, just regular Garage Joe stuff, I have another job, and so this is just kind of on the side. Do this for fun, and we work on Vanagons, and the Vanagons that I typically work on are air-cooled, but I do have a friend that has a Synchro diesel, so occasionally I go up and help him out with stuff. And we got this 2002 Eurovan VR6 24 valve that we still gotta get working on it and get it done. I think the next thing I'm going to be doing is reattaching the axles to the transmission and getting those wheels back on so that I can maybe put it on some rollers and then roll it sideways, work on the front, because I got to get all that wiring done. Then you can see Jack way over there. If you haven't seen that, that's my 81 Westfalia, and Jack is kind of the big project of the garage. So one of these days we'll get back to Jack. Hopefully after Lars the Eurovan, we'll start right away working on Jack. Because I got a lot of parts for Jack, just to start assembling him back together and then do the body work, a little bit of body work, paint, and then start putting everything back together. And then we work on Sea-Doos. So if you are a Sea-Doo person, I got two 787 XPs, XP800s from 1996, and we work on those pretty regularly just to make sure that they keep running. And sometimes we just do a video of just running around out there, just make sure, or if we add something to it, check it out. So yeah, so thanks for joining me, Mr. Smith Garage, and hope you subscribe and enjoy the videos. Bye.